It's time for Dodger baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. What a snap. This is what an ace looks like.
And tag out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. A little under the weather today, but hey, if I have a pulse on post-gaming, what if Kirk Gibson said, hey, Tommy, my knee's hurt. I can't pitch in the 1988 World Series. He went on to hit one of the biggest home runs ever. So, look, man, I'm here for you guys as always. So we got a lot to get into. The Dodgers sweep the San Francisco Giants. They get their 7th consecutive win. They've now won 11 of their last 12 games. They're now 29-18. They'll be a game back of the San Diego Padres in the NL West. They're up right now. Fernando Tatis Jr. is going crazy. But, hey, just like I said, last week I said the Dodgers will be taking 8 of their next 10 games. Sure enough, they're taking 11 of their last 12 games. So this team, they're starting to hit the baseball more consistently. And today, really, the story was Julio Urías. The Urías, he had it going today. He had the feel for that fastball. He was working the slurve. He had one strikeout via that changeup. But you saw when he's commanding that strike zone, he has no-hitter, perfect game stuff. He took a perfect game there into the 6th inning. Unfortunately, he gave up he gives up the home run there to Slater. He took him deep there in the 6th inning for a 2-run shot. But it looked like it because it could have been a special day up in San Francisco. And look, the Dodgers, they took care of business. They swept San Francisco. And now it looks like San Francisco, they're the pretenders. They're not the contenders that they thought they were. They thought they had the starting rotation, that they could match up with the Dodgers, that they could give the Dodgers a run for their money in the NL West. And we know that's not the case. The only threat to the Dodgers is the San Diego Padres down in San Diego. And even then, I don't think they're going to get in the way of the Dodgers winning their 9th straight division title. But we've got lots to get into on today's episode. Let me know first where you're representing the Dodgers Nation from today, and how good does it feel to sweep the San Francisco Giants? And you know who's next. The Houston Asterisks from Houston. It's going to be a big one. We're going to be going live for that one too. But let's get into these comments, guys. Welcome to the show. Slam Bam Lux with 2 grand slam. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Gavin Lux, it was outstanding. This series, Gavin Lux, he goes 5 for 13 with a double and a grand slam. And this guy is just growing before our eyes. He's an emerging superstar. You see it out there. It looks like this guy has perennial all-star potential at this point. He tried to make a big play there in the 6th inning to get Tauchman to try to preserve that no-hitter for Julio. But unfortunately, he couldn't make the play. It would have been a tough play either way, but good effort. You saw the diving stop he made in the 5th inning to catch that line out. So he was doing everything he could. You saw in the bottom of the 5th, Julio Urías, he kind of makes that big Lux makes that big stop, and it looked like he was on his way to potentially throwing a no-hitter, a perfect game. And you saw 33 pitches. He had 56 pitches going into that 6th inning, 33 pitches in that 6th. And one of the big reasons why is they didn't call the strike 3. It should have been it was a check swing. They called it on the strike 3 on, and look, it looked like that should have definitely, no question, have been an out, because Tauchman, look, that's 3/4 the way. That wasn't halfway. This is Major League Baseball. That is strike 3 every single time, and I think it wore on Julio. He ends up throwing 15 pitches after that, and yes, the fact that he gives up the home run to Slater, it kind of doesn't make you think about it as much, but hey, this guy was rolling. But do you guys think that was a strike? Think the umpires were terrible today with that call? Let me know. Anthony Keene, Lux season in full effect. Gotta leave my man at short. Anthony Keene coming with the hot takes. Bringing it, Urías is a champ, LOL. A nice sweep, need better bullpen. Yeah, I mean, the game did get sloppy in a hurry there. You saw Edwin Uceta just was not effective with that 2-seamer. They were hitting it. He wasn't throwing for strikes. And then it's just, to me, it's a lack of focus for Dennis Santana. He needs to go in there and find a way to hit strikes. He was nibbling on the corners there. He needs to trust his stuff. He has good stuff. You got to get it over the plate. He ends up going an inning, those 25 pitches, just 12 strikes for Dennis Santana. I thought Bickford did a nice job. Remember when Bickford, a little revenge game, he was one of the top picks in baseball to the San Francisco Giants. So that must have felt nice for him to go in and pitch 2/3 of an inning and get that punch out to get the Dodgers out of that. But then Edwin Uceta, he just goes a third of an inning, gives up 3 runs on 2 hits, and 24 pitches, 15 for strikes. So that was the big issue with Dennis Santana and Edwin Uceta out there. They were just falling behind in counts. And you saw Uceta 2 for 5 on first pitch strikes. Dennis Santana 4 for 6. Just had issues finishing off hitters. And that two-seamer, when that changeup is not money for Uceta, he's relying on that two-seamer, he's not going to be a very effective pitcher at this stage of his career. He needs more seasoning down there in the minor leagues. But now Lux owns Julio Dinner. I don't think so, man. That would have been a tough play by Gavin Lux to get Tauchman. He's a speedy runner there going to first. Pretty much the only play he had was to try to barehand it there. I think that would have been a tough play for Gavin Lux. He makes the big play the inning before, and that's what we see during perfect games and no-hitters. There's usually that magic. There's that special play, like Miguel Rojas with Clayton Kershaw, and then for every Miguel Rojas, you have a Hanley Ramirez. So you need everything to go right when you're going to try to pitch a no-hitter or a perfect game. There's only 23 perfect games in history, and there's only one in Dodger history, and that was thrown by Sandy Koufax. So I don't really fault Gavin Lux, and you saw Gavin Lux. He was crushing it today. But let's get into these comments, and we'll get into this game recap. Going to probably cruise to this one since my temperature is probably higher than Max Muncy's batting average over the last 5 days. But here we go. Yep, that was strike 3 from Ray. I like that, Ray. Come with the big facts. Veronica Ruiz over on Facebook. Hi, Veronica. How you doing? Urías has balls of steel from Josh. Laura Quintana from Bay Area and so happy we swept the Giants. My dad is not happy at all probably. So your dad's a Giant fan. You're a Dodger fan. You got the house divided, the family divided. I understand. But you're winning today, and it's all that matters. Deborah Young, I wonder if Corey is starting to get worried about his spot. That's from Deborah Young over on YouTube. It's a valid question. Not that he's getting Wally pipped, but if you're the Dodgers, this is an organization that makes sound decisions when it comes to their future. And if Zach McKinstry comes back and continues to rake, and he looks like he's a permanent solution at second base. You still got Michael Busch down there in the minor leagues who can also play some of the corner outfield spots, but also the infield. And Gavin Lux is proving that he's got some nice range and a nice arm there at Gavin Lux. He's came so far as a defensive infielder. You love to see it. And is Corey Seager worried? I think if Corey Seager is honest with himself, he realizes that the next contract he signs, he won't be playing shortstop for the majority of that deal. That's just my opinion. If you look at some of his analytics, some of his advanced analytics, they'll tell you that he is a below-average shortstop. It's not really debatable when you look at those numbers. And if you look at the range, he's always kind of struggled with the glove side range and the arm. He's had some miscues this year. You saw against the Cubs. You saw even the first play of the game, the first game of the year against the Rockies. So he's definitely had his issues with the glove. And I just think that what's best for him is I look at what can a player do at an elite level. And Corey Seager, he could practice shortstop all day, every day, and he wouldn't be an elite shortstop. But what he can do is be an elite hitter. We saw that in the postseason. So I think a position change would do wonders for him at the plate. And it could also help him avoid injuries because we know shortstop is a very physically demanding position. But should he be worried? I would say worried in the sense that I don't think that I just don't see him as the long-term shortstop for the Dodgers like 3, 4, 5 years down the road. I think it's always been talked about that a position change, whether it be third or first, was inevitable for Corey Seager. You're going to have the DH in the National League. That's something else to consider. So I still think if I'm paying him $200 million, that's for what he can do with the stick and not what he can do with the glove. So it doesn't really change how I feel about him as far as signing him long-term if he comes back and rakes when he's healthy. Because I don't think he was fully healthy at the beginning of this year. I think that you've had guys dealing with little knick-knack injuries, kind of banged up like Mookie and Siegs. But, give me your take. Who do you guys have as your shortstop of the future? Let me know down below in the comment section. But back here, we got some broomsticks. Retweet the show if you're on Twitter. If you're on YouTube, mash that like button. If you're on Facebook, share the show because your Los Angeles Dodgers came in and swept this San Francisco Giant team that had convinced itself that they had what it takes, to compete with the Dodgers in this division. They were coming out 5 straight wins, but you saw the Dodgers just outclassed them pretty much from every aspect. And the Dodgers aren't even fully healthy right now. I mean, LA is still out McKinstry and Cody Bellinger. And you still got Knebel out. A lot of big names. We still haven't gotten Tony Gonsolin back. And the Dodgers really made easy work of this Giants team. And they just look like a more complete team all weekend long. But how about Julio Urías getting those 3 RBIs? 2 hits for the Urías. Shohei Who. We've got our own two-way player for the Dodgers, and his name is Julio Urías. But here we go. We got Gavin. Sucks no more. I like that, Gluehead. Urías looks so unstoppable today. That's from Patrick Gagne over on Facebook. Bellinger with the long ball today in OKC. I like that. Santana needs to go back to Oklahoma or Albuquerque. That's from Oscar Marquez. We got Diane Schroeder over on YouTube. Seager should not be worried about losing his position to Lux. Should be worried. So a lot of you guys feel the same way as Diane and Deborah out there, that you think that he is going to be a permanent solution at shortstop. And look, I mean, this is a meritocracy. The results speak for themselves. And if you can, we always knew the potential he had with the bat, but there was some talk in the work he did with Steve Sachs, when there was some talk that he had the yips, had struggled to make throws. So you're like, okay, is that a guy that could be a permanent solution at shortstop? But now what he's proven is he's made tremendous strides with the glove, and I think that's one of the big. I know it's a little ironic because he wasn't able to make that play to preserve Julio's no-hitter and his perfect game, but you see it out there. You saw the play he made in the 5th inning, and he just looks really confident and comfortable at the shortstop position. But we got Gavin Lux is freaking underrated. That's from Mike and Vasquez over on YouTube. Man, this is the Gavin Lux love fest, and I'm definitely, trust me, I'm here for it, man. Gavin Lux is exactly what you want for the Dodgers, a player that's under team control for so many years, a guy that had so much hype heading into last year, and now he's finally living up to that hype, and you saw it today. He's just smoking baseballs, and Gavin Lux, over his last 13 games, he's 16 for his last 48, hitting .333, OPSing .968, 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. And if you look at those strikeout to walk numbers, 11 strikeouts, and just 4 walks. So that's not, extra fan. It's not like Max Muncy, 9 walks and 9 strikeouts or leading the league in walks. But his play discipline has gotten so much better as this year has progressed. But here we go. Screw it. I'll say Lux over Arenado. Josh, you guys are going high. There you go. Greg Pierce, sweep is the world. Sweep is the word. I like that. Yeah, I did. I didn't predict 7-0 at all. I predicted 4-3. We got Padres are so cocky for no reason. I will never forgive Hanley for that game. Price should have finished that game. I mean, they're still trying to work him back with that kind of lead. You really want to preserve a player like David Price, who you kind of thinking long-term, and also you want to give some young guys some action, because that's a perfect situation for Edwin Uceta and Dennis Santana, where Edwin Uceta, save for the home run he gave up to Duvall last week, he was, he had some nice innings, but he just did not look good at all today. Like I said, not throwing strikes, was getting hit really hard. They were just lacing him out there. But really, it all came down to, how about that we'll start the second inning. So let's just do more comments, and then we'll get to that second inning. Give me some water, guys. All right, man. Let's do it. First place from Craig Osterberg. First, Seager might be a second base. Hey, sweep it is. How sweep it is. LA all day. Hope you're feeling better, dude. Hopefully this was a win. Yeah, definitely helps me out, man. You guys always hooking it up with these fire takes. Always makes me feel a lot better. I'll be good, man. Tina G-Man, it was a great win today. Nice job, Dodgers. Barrels are underrated from Jamie over on Facebook. Let's go, Dodgers, over on Facebook. Seager might be a first in the future. Yeah, I agree with that, Lauren. Juice Narrows, sending good vibes to Doug. Hope you, and I'm good, man. I shouldn't mention. I thought I might throw you off. I was wearing a sweatshirt. So today was a good day. Dodgers punked Giants from pound for pound. Lost it 777. All that is talking about the Giants are for real. Then they faced a real team, and they fold faster than a bad hand on poker. You're right, Lawson. They folded faster than Superman on Laundry Day in this series. And look, they made a nice little run at the end against pitchers that are still very green. I thought that Bickford came in and got a nice punch out there. You said, unfortunately, didn't have his best night, but thanks, guys. Dougie Fresh bringing the truth. Dodgers should listen. Lux in second base. Seager. Trevor Story. You guys want to see Trevor Story in Dodger Blue. Interesting. Josh, I think the Lakers might lose in 5, Doug. Hopefully not, but look, the good thing about that, Lakers lost the first game of round 1 last year, lost the first game of round 2 last year. The Lakers will get it together, but maybe we'll do a Laker post-game show at some point. You guys, sweet page. How many Dodgers traveling to Houston? We got no man. I'm interested to see how many fans will be in the stands in Houston, and I think that knowing you guys, how hardcore you are, I'm expecting to see a lot of Dodger Blue at Minute Maid Park, and you guys are gonna be giving the Trastros hell. I have no doubt about it. But it's gonna be pretty exciting, man. I mean, who knows? Will we get another Joe Kelly moment? Will Trevor Bauer – look, I don't want to see us throwing at guys. Absolutely not, for sure. But I would like to see a couple big punch-outs, embarrass guys. And really, at this point, you can't afford to be messing around with runs in a game like this when you're in a race with the San Diego Padres. This Padres team is hot right now. They are definitely keeping pace with the Dodgers. And the Dodgers, they're lucky that they got their stuff together when they did, because if they continue to slump and the Padres had continued to win like they have been, they're going to create some separation in the NL West. So give the Dodgers a lot of credit for winning 11 of their last 12 games. They had lost 15 of their last 20. And please, Drew, I can't work right now. Dodgers are on the grind. Go blue. I still want Lux traded. Interesting, Wilson Zelda. If you would trade Lux, who would it be for? Just now that you've said it. Like I said, you guys, I read your comments, man. I'm not going to hide away from them. So, damn, man, what the hell was you said? Yeah, we kind of got into that a little bit. How about that the second inning? I thought that was big for the Dodgers coming out, setting the tone early, making a statement there in the top of the second inning. Will Smith, he singles to right. Beatty drew a walk, giving the Dodgers runners on first and second with no outs. Chris Taylor, he flies to right. Smith advances to third on the play. And then Satsugo, he singled to right, scoring Smith, making it 1-0 Dodgers. Beatty advanced to second on the play. So how about Pujols and Yoshi Satsugo just making an impact, contributing in their first week with the Dodgers? I think that it can't be understated, just the impact that Albert has had in the clubhouse, on the field. It just looks like this team has a different life to it, a different spark to it since he put on that Dodger blue uniform and started repping L.A. But here we go. So he singles to second, singles to right, and that scores Will Smith to make it 1-0 Dodgers. And then DJ Peters, he struck out swinging. Then Urías, he doubled to deep right, scoring Satsugo and Beatty to make it 3-0 Dodgers. Lux struck out swinging after that, but, I mean, we're talking 104-plus off the bat. Urías is the real deal, man. I just love this guy going out there with the stick, getting the job done. And like I said, Shohei Hu, we got our own two-way player out here, man. We're going to move him up in the lineup, or we're going to use him for a DH for American League teams. Should we use him as a big lefty pinch hitter? I'm telling you, all of those things should be considered with Julio if he continues to stroke like that. But Anthony Keene, Bickford looked good overall. Let's sweep Houston, those cheaters. Yeah, how excited for you guys on a 1 to 10 scale for the Astros asterisks series on Tuesday? Let me know. Superman Alondra Day, Steven Kaplan. Man, stop it, Lakers in 6. William Broxton. Okay, yeah, we're not going to push the panic button for the Lakers. This is the city of champions. This is game 1. Long series. Anthony Davis didn't have his best game. But high there. We got Bean. Lux isn't. Okay, we got Julio is the salt of the earth and the backbone of the Dodgers. Wow, he coming hard with that one. I like it. Sergio, go Lakers. I like how Bauer played the villain against the Giants. It was great. Yeah, I mean, that was so cool. And look, right when I saw it, I immediately thought that's just like Tommy Lasorda welcoming the boos. And unfortunately, after the game, he said that that wasn't what he was doing, but maybe like the ghost of Tommy Lasorda in Blue Heaven kind of inspired him there. That's kind of how I feel about it. I feel like you just felt like it was Tommy Lasorda in that moment. Yeah, I mean, he plays the villain well. That's what this game needs. They need more Fernando Tatis Jr.'s, more Trevor Bauers, more Ronald Acuna Jr.'s, players that you have an opinion about. And Trevor Bauer is a perfect example. I mean, this game needs to continue to develop those personalities. And, I mean, is there anyone out there that doesn't think FTJ isn't great for the game, or Shohei Ohtani, or guys that you can't take your eye off? And I think that Trevor Bauer is really onto something. And, look, I mean, what's the Dodgers' record since he was upset after the Dodgers lost against the Angels? I mean, since he said he was sick of losing and that, he looked very angry after the Dodgers were in their funk, they went on a run since then. So, a lot of things. Signing Pujols, Trevor Bauer, this team just being a great team that can get it together because of so much talent on this team. I wasn't worried, but it's nice to see him start to hit again. Yeah, I'd be stroking, hooking it up with $5. I like it. $5 towards a 40-ounce of Mickey's for D-Mac, and a round of applause for Julio. Go! I like that. I haven't drinking a Mickey's since, I don't know, I used to go to this place called Coldest off Figueroa in Highland Park back in the high school days. They would hook it up. I probably shouldn't put them on blast, but but no, Mickey's. I mean, I'm pretty down to crush any beers. Sweet peeps, we got Urías killed it at the plate today. Mike and Vasquez, the Padres just talk, and they've been playing bad teams. Yeah, we'll see. I think they go on the road to play Milwaukee. And we'll see how they fare because they're going to have some stiffer competition. And the Dodgers 2 against Houston and another 4-game set at home against San Francisco. So, look, it's too early to be scoreboard watching the Padres. It's fun to do. I'm not going to lie. I do it all the time. But having the Padres, it's only going to fuel the Dodgers. It really is. I mean, they can't afford to get complacent. If they want everything that's in front of them, if they want everything in front of them, like home field advantage, even not just in the NL but all of baseball, they're going to have to keep pace. So I like that the Padres are doing what they're doing because it's going to make it that much sweeter when the Dodgers go on to body slam Diego at some point this season and win their 9th straight division title. So I think it only helps us at this point. And look, it's good. It's good. It's keep them on the Dodgers on their heels. Keep them motivated. Of course, the Giants is a bigger rivalry historically, but those juices weren't flowing like they were. There wasn't that level of tension that we saw when the Dodgers matched up with San Diego. You just can't deny that. And look, these two teams know that there's a good chance that they're both, within a handful of teams that are legitimate World Series contenders. So they know that. You missed Ohtani. I dropped him. I think so. But Doug, Josh, can we get a Let's Go Dodgers? I got you, bro. Anthony Keene, Dodgers are super talented. They're able to score, and they can today without Mookie, Belly, or Seager. That's a fantastic point, Anthony Keene. You're missing not just great players, not just perennial all-stars. We're talking a NL and World Series MVP in Corey Seager, an NL MVP in Cody Bellinger, and a 2018 MVP in the AL from Mookie Betts. Not just good players. We're talking about great players when they're right. So it's a fantastic point for the Dodgers to go up there on the road and take care of business with the ease that they really did. I think it was very impressive. Wilson Zeta, Urías, NL Cy Young, $200 million contract. Craig Trastros need to get dumped. Yeah, any Astros burns, they're welcome. They are welcome here. You know how I get down. But yeah, so to the I thought let's kind of get into this game here. I want to talk a little bit about that third inning. So the third inning, we had Justin Turner grounded to short for the first out. Max Muncy draws a walk, and then Will Smith. He's been playing very well of late. He singles up the middle. Muncy turned on the afterburners, made to third on the play, giving the Dodgers runners on the corners with 1 out and Matt Beatty at the plate. And then Beatty, he hits a bouncer into left. It took a nice big hop to get through, and that scores Max Muncy on the play to make it 4-0 LA. And then Chris Taylor, he hits a bloop single to center to score Will Smith to give LA a 5-0 lead. And 10 of the first 15 Dodgers reached at that point. And you thought that, Discofani just didn't find it. The most he had given up this year was 3 runs, and the Dodgers, it was a hit parade against him early on, whether it be through hits or reaching base via the walk. This offense was just dominating him. And then the Dodgers, they just got to him early, like I said. Then Urías, another big hit. He bangs home a base hit to make it 6-0 Dodgers. Came in with 3 RBIs in his and he had 4 today. Okay, so he had 3 today. For Julio Urías. So that was great to see. And then Discofani, like I said, he had given up 12 runs all season and 10 hits today at that point. And you saw they had just really gotten to him. Now, then in the top of the 4th inning on a 3-2 count, Max Muncy, he hits a tank off Selman. Just got out in front of a nice hanging slider there and just punished it. 433 feet and 107.1 miles per hour off the bat. So Max Muncy, he is just getting so hot at the right time. Let's say he was continuing to struggle, and then Justin Turner, who's going through it right now, and then you don't have Bellinger, Mookie, and Corey Seager, and A.J. Pollock. There's a lot of big names outside this lineup, so he got hot at the right time. So definitely mash that like button and hard button, all that good stuff for the funky Muncy. Like I said, I think they should change it to the McMuncy Cove out there. This guy just hitting those splash balls all day long. You saw he just absolutely punished one yesterday. And Tanner Franklin, I'm not going to twerk. I don't know why you keep asking me that, but Josh, this is a post-game show, not an OnlyFans, just for the record. Josh, Doug, if we ever see each other at a game, definitely shotgunning a beer together. Definitely down with that, my man, for sure. Here we go. We got Drew Quit. We got Just Block. I don't know what's going on in the comments, but be nice to each other, guys. Then let's talk about that 6th inning, because really that was kind of the the big inning when it came to you felt that magic. I know a lot of you guys were turning back and forth between the Dodgers and the Laker game. Well, I thought that no matter what happened in the Laker game, if Julio Urías is able to throw a no-hitter or a perfect game, that's going to steal the show and steal the headlines here, not just LA, but really the sports world. I mean, that's how rare of a feat that is. Well, in the top of the sixth, he strikes out Castellani swinging for the first out. Then on a 2-2 count, it looked like he had finished off Tauchman with that slurve, and he didn't hold up. I'm telling you, that is a swing every single time. That was a horrific call that really could have cost him a chance to throw a perfect game or a no-hitter. Then on the very next pitch, Tauchman reaches on an infield single. Would have been an extremely tough play for Gavin Lux. He tried to barehand it and just couldn't get a hold of it and make the throw. So even if he does make that throw, it's going to be a bang-bang play at first. So we'll never know. And then he gets Bargar, looking at strike three with a nice, well-located fastball for the third strike. So that was really the difference with him, was those fastballs today. Because when he's locating them, you see how effective he is with the heater. Today, 4 of his 10 punch-outs came via the fastball, 5 via the slurve, 1 via the cambio, as Jay Hare likes to call it, the changeup. And you see when he is painting the zone, when he has that command, it's not about him reaching up to get 96 or close to 97. It's just about that location because of how deceptive he is, because of that relief. He's just such a tough guy to hit. And then on a 1-2 count, Slater homers to left to make it 11-2 Dodgers. So they get their first hit, their first runs of the game right there on that home run by Slater there. And then he goes up to give a single to Solano. Then he gets Yaz swinging for the third out. So 15 pitches after that missed call, and I really do think it cost him. I mean, he was cruising before that. 45 pitches through 3, and I mean, I just think that he had thrown 56 pitches heading into that inning, and he goes and throws 33. So pretty much that ended the threat of having a no-hitter. But the Dodgers, they won the game, even though you had some shoddy performances by Uceta and Dennis Santana. Bickford came in, got the job done. It was nice to see David Price pitched a really nice, clean inning. So, look, the Dodgers, they went up there and did exactly what they needed to do to keep this momentum going all the way to H-Town. But let's do some of these comments, guys, and we're gonna head out of here. We are going to be back tomorrow with tons of stuff leading up to the Houston series, and then we are going to be live after the Tuesday night game. So last year it was absolutely insane. That live show after Joe Kelly did what he did, and we got Moose, Dougie, the best post game show guy. Thanks, Moose, you the man. Appreciate that. I'm not sure what's up with this. Nice sweater, man. We got I'll be back tomorrow. Time to take out San Diego for first place. I mean, it's really going to be fantastic to see that series and how that series is going to play out. Because, look, the Trastros have been struggling of late. I think they go in there, and the Dodgers, you got Kershaw going. I like it. But Sergio, start up, bro. Urías was looking great, and the offense came through big. What up, my man Sergio Torres? Go follow him on Twitter. He's a good follow, man. He's a funny guy. Anthony Keene, I can't wait to see. What do you do? My comments, but hit that like button. There we go. Brooks, we are seeing the depth that everyone raved about finally. Exactly. Perfect example. Not only that, and also some nice signings. How about Nate Jones yesterday? How about Satsugo and Pujols coming through? So it's the depth that the Dodgers created pretty much overnight with some of these big signings. But I agree with you. Throwback. By the way, give me your predictions about the Houston series. Do you guys think that it's going to be a blowout? I want your predictions. Do you think that'll win both games? Do you think it'll get crazy? But let me know. Thanks a lot, Deborah. Appreciate that. Houston's going to get blasted. A blast road. I like that, Lynn. Always coming. You always find a way to find your comments. But Houston gets blast road. We got TJ. TJ Barales here. How do you see the outcome being against the Trastros? I think the Dodgers going there, riding this momentum, having won 11 of 12 games, having won 7 in a row, and I think they take that game personally. I think they make a statement. I could see them splitting. The Astros are not a bad team, especially at home. I like the pitching matchups with Trevor Bauer and Clayton Kershaw going. I think Clayton Kershaw going in there against fans, with fans in the stands, I think he's going to want to make a statement. Remember, he threw a break, threw 57 breaking pitches, something like that. They didn't swing at one in Game 5. So I think that could be a very personal game, because one thing I always think about Clayton Kershaw is he had to live the entire offseason thinking, man, maybe I'm not the one of the best pitchers in the world. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe this Astros team, they're better hitters than they just crushed me in that Game 5. But the reality was, Game 1, 11 punch outs with no walks. He pitched a gem, then he came through and gave you 4 scoreless in Game 7. So I know there's people out there that say that Jock Peterson is their World Series MVP. But to me, considering his stature and everything he had been through, if the Dodgers win that series, to me it's a no-brainer that Clayton Kershaw would have won the World Series MVP. And when he does that, there's nothing that this guy didn't accomplish in his career. We're talking about a multi-Cy Young Award winner. He pitched a no-hitter in 2014. He was the MVP in 2014. And yes, he has that World Series that he won last year, which is fantastic, but he should be a multi-World Series champion, having won his own World Series MVP. But Bauer pitch, I think that Dustin May won't be as nasty, because Tommy John was hurting his arm because he tweaked his arm. Nathan Horton. That's interesting. I mean, look, bottom line is we won't know when he comes back until he comes back and starts throwing again. Sometimes that 3-quarter delivery, you're looking at some potential injuries because of it. But this guy, I mean, he's right up there with DeGrom when it comes to velocity and how nasty his stuff is. I'm not saying he's as good of a pitcher as him, but when you look at the gun, when you look at some of his numbers there, I mean, this guy, if you watch the backstage with Elitrach, I always say that name wrong, but I think that's right. The Elitrach, the Dodgers team physician, the guy who performed his Tommy John surgery, he's like, hey, man, you got a Ferrari engine in there, so we need to get a ligament that can handle the power that you throw with. So I think he comes back, and you've seen a lot of guys actually have an uptick in velocity when they return. I'm just going to be optimistic and hope that's the case. 2-0 winners. That's from Craig. We got Dodgers will sweep the Traders from Sergio. We got 1-1 from Justin. We got I hope Mookie can get back to being the old Mookie. He hasn't looked like Mookie all year. I mean, he's had his Mookie Betts. It's tough. Because he's so good when he's good that when he's not playing at a super all-star level, it seems like he's going through it. But if you look at Mookie, 5 for his last 19 before he went injured, a home run and 2 doubles. So you're seeing those doubles, you're seeing him hit a home run. That's definitely big, and I just don't think that he's 100% right. I mean, I just believe that. It's not a cop-out. It's not an excuse for Mookie Betts. But, I mean, and also, so he's been swinging at stuff that he wasn't swinging at last year, offering at pitches outside of the zone. But, look, I say it on Twitter sometimes I say it here. The last thing you want to do is worry about Mookie Betts, because this guy, you don't have to worry about him, because he's going to put in the work to work his way through any slump he has, any injury he's dealing with, and he's going to come back and produce for the Dodgers. Without him last year, I don't think they sniffed the World Series, to be quite honest with you, and I think that his impact is going to be felt all season long, and it's just about getting him back healthy. Look, this is a big time. This is back to 162 games, a marathon of a season. We need guys healthy, and that way when they're back, they stay back, and they're not going back and forth to the IL. A sailed loner might get crazy in the stands if the 294 is there. Sweep them from OG. Yeah, you're right. I think it will be. There we go. Hello from South Carolina. # Nate Jones. All right, represent. That's what I'm talking about. Your boy pitched well, man. This guy, he's got a nice heater, and we saw it's a big seasons with the White Sox and Cincinnati. This guy is going to. I think it was the Braves this year, right? And plus, he pitched for a couple teams, but when he was with the White Sox, really had his best stuff. But here we go. We got Williams sweat while hollering beat LA. Backup thoughts on the Rockets cheated too. And that's a whole different show, but the whole city's cursed. We know that. Look at Deshaun Watson. Look at they lost James Harden, but Trastros get blown out. That's from Diane. There we go. You guys got to finish him out there. D-Mac. Keep your eyes on Nate Jones. He still has a lot of gas left in the tank. Yeah, go on YouTube. By the way, guys, go to DodgersYouTube.com/DodgersNationTV. I did a whole thing on Nate Jones and some other dream potential bullpen things. Just kind of having fun with it, but definitely go check that out and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Lynn M, I like this Pujols kid. He's an up and comer. Lynn, you always get me, man. I mean, honestly, I think at Pujols, I'm going to call it right now. I think he makes it to the Hall of Fame. I really do. I think that he gets elected to the Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame. What do you guys think about that take? No, man, every time he gets a hit, it's just something to behold. I mean, it's just I still can't really get over it. Really, just seeing him in Dodger blue, I just never thought. I mean, when you grow up watching baseball in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, I mean, that guy was just on his own level. I mean, no one could touch this guy. And it's not that he just hits for power; he's a pure hitter. And last night he got his 3,258th hit as a Dodger. I mean, as a big leaguer. And he's got a hit in every single game he's played in with the Dodgers, and he's coming up in big spots. I mean, he hit a home run the other night, and yeah, and it's just really fantastic to see. 668 home runs. Now we know that one of them at least will be in Dodger blue, but hopefully he hits a lot more. But yep, guys, a couple more takes here. We're gonna be out of here. But we're gonna do a really long show on Tuesday, Wednesday. Drink some soup or something, get better here. My hot take, give me your hot take, Ryan. I missed it. We need to keep Pujols for a year or two. We'll see, man. I mean, he looks like, to me, he wants to hit 700, okay? He wants to hit 700 home runs, and hopefully he wants to hit more than that. And if they can get him right, you see, like, I mean, I don't know if I'm not necessarily advocating for that, but look, I think 700 home runs, 32 bombs. If he plays a few more seasons, I mean, I think it's definitely within reach. There's a lot of people out there that think he's anywhere between 41 and 59. But look, man, like I said, I don't care about the age if he's producing, but it's still premature, I think, to kind of think about long-term with Albert Pujols, especially when things are going to change when we get healthy. Those roster spots fill up fast when you have accumulated and developed the kind of depth that this Dodgers organization has. But look, I definitely think that he's not done after this year, because I think he wants 700 and beyond. But here we go. We need to keep Pujols for a year or two. Shout out from Louisville, Kentucky. What up, Ed, over from Louisville? We got Padres. LOL, enjoy that first spot. Yeah, get Padres on top. Ruben, hey man, if I were you, I would not start celebrating now and start popping champagne. Lots of season left to go, and I guarantee you, after the last game of the year, you will not be in this chat saying that same thing. But thanks again, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. Down to talk baseball pretty much all day, every day. If you want to hit me up on one of those social media platforms. Also, if you want to get geared up, head over to gearup.la. I mean, if you guys want, I think what you probably should do is go cop a Joe Kelly shirt of the nice swing blank biatch, whatever you want to call it. Get that to celebrate the Dodgers playing Houston, the H-Clowns in H-Town, on Tuesday. So get merched up over at gearup.la. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for the Blue Heaven podcast, hosted by the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation, Clint Pasillas and Brooke Smith. Be sure to subscribe to that show. Also, subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout podcast. It's where I take this show. I get all of your takes, and you can listen to them the next day. But be on the lookout for a video tomorrow morning. But thanks again for rocking with us, guys. Bottom of the ninth. Let's do some nice final takes here. We got Night Dougie from Lynn. Thank you, Dougie Rock. Thanks, Sergio. We got to treat Houston just like how we treat any other opponent, just another team on our schedule. Justin, I mean, I think there is something to that. I agree with that to an extent, because if you make it too personal, you can get out of your game. So I definitely think these guys are professionals, that they're not going to go too far. I mean, they're going to be seeing red against Houston. They're going to want to dominate them just like they did last year, but you can't let that anger take you out of your game, because I agree with that. This is baseball. It's not football where you're running towards a guy and like tackling a guy, or you're running back trying to break tackles or something like that. There's a lot of just concentration in baseball. You have to stay calm. You look at Julio Urías. He's one of the best at it, keeping that heart rate low. He's got that poise. So I agree with that. We got great shows always from Patrick. Thanks, guys. Dodgers sweep Giants from pound for pound. Benches clear on Wednesday. I'm going to remember that as Sale Loaner, because if it does happen, best believe you'll be getting a shout-out after the show. Yep, guys. Thanks again for rocking with us, as always. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to head over to DodgersNation.com. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery at Tatis. Gone. Will Smith. This is what an ace looks like.
And tagged out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.